Welcome to the Canadian Workplace Success Workshop. My name is Eric Gustafson, and I'm the ESL Specialist in the Sales Center. This workshop is about workplace acculturation. In order to understand that, we must first understand the word acculturation. If you're not sure, look at the middle part here. You'll notice the word culture, and that's a big hint as to what it means. Acculturation means to acquire the knowledge and skills to be able to adjust to the expectations and social patterns of a new cultural setting. So for example, when you arrived in Canada for the first time, that was an experience where you needed to learn the knowledge and skills to adjust. It's also true when you entered Durham College. You needed skills and knowledge to adjust to this setting. And this will also be true when you enter the workplace. Again, it'll be a new set of cultural expectations and social patterns, and you'll need to learn the knowledge and the skills on how to fit into that environment. This workshop will discuss the purpose of a placement, the challenges to your workplace success, Canadian cultural values, rights and responsibilities in a placement, Canadian employer values, professionalism in communication, email communication, and qualities of an effective employee. The first step is to understand the purpose of a placement. Why does your college program require you to participate in a field placement? What are the benefits of a placement experience for you? Preparing for success in a Canadian workplace. What are the possible challenges to your success in the Canadian workplace? So if you think about that, when you entered Canada or when you entered Durham College, what were the challenges that you faced that were cultural or language-based? Some of the barriers to your workplace success or challenges might include knowledge barriers. Knowledge barriers mean that you need to understand the expectations of your employer as well as your rights and responsibilities as an employee in a Canadian organization. If you don't know them, they will be a challenge. Also, communication barriers. You need to improve your English skills to better understand and respond to the requirements of your workplace. In the workplace culture, there are Canadian ideals of workplace and international ideals of workplace. Often they will be similar, but not always. If you think about your home culture and business practices or workplace culture, think about these categories on the left side here. Punctuality, being on time, boundaries, how friendly are you with the boss, what do you do with information? Also teamwork and individual work and communication and confidentiality, sharing information outside of your company. All of these are important in Canada, and this is something that you need to consider when you are working in a Canadian workplace. To understand the Canadian workplace values, let's look at cultural values in Canada. One is individualism. So individual contribution is well respected. Often you will work on teams, but your boss will expect you to volunteer information and help as much as possible. And your individual opinion will be respected as well. Equality, an important issue in Canada. Respecting others regardless of their race, religion, age, or gender. This is an important part of Canadian culture. For example, if two people, a man and a woman, had the same job in the same company, you can expect that both of them will have the same salary. That's an example of equality. Informality is another cultural value in Canada. Casual attitude is not a lack of respect. You may find that your boss asks you to call him or her by their first name, and that's not unusual. punctuality, showing respect for other people's time. In the business world, this is extremely important. Make sure that you're not late for meetings or appointments. Show respect for other people's time. Your rights and responsibilities in a workplace during a placement. During your placement, you will be viewed as a new employee in training. So you have to remember that you will be expected to follow all the rules that a new employee would follow. This is also helpful in realizing that your placement is an important role, and you need to consider yourself as a new employee when you're deciding what to do and say. You have the same rights as any employee in the workplace, especially regarding health and safety. If you feel like a situation is unsafe or an environment is unhealthy, you can speak up. That's your right. You are responsible for accuracy in your work. Ask questions when you're not certain. Now let's talk about the top skills and qualities that Canadian employers value in their employees. So these are the skills and qualities that employers are looking for in employees. They're presented to you from number 8 to number 1. Number 1 is the most important. So the first one is number 8. Canadian employers value proficiency with computer software programs. They want you to know how to use computer software. Number 7. They want you to have technical knowledge related to the job. Number 6. They want you to have the ability to analyze data. Number 5. They want you to have the ability to plan, organize, and prioritize your work. So this means you can work independently and manage your time. Number 4. They want you to have the ability to obtain and process information. Remember, these are getting more important to the employers. Number 3. They want you to have the ability to make decisions and solve problems. Very important. These last 3 points are very important to Canadian employers. Number 2. They want you to have the ability to verbally communicate with persons inside and outside the organization. So they want you to be able to speak with people who are inside the company, colleagues, bosses, co-workers, and outside the organization, so clients and other company members and customers. And the final one, number 1, they want you to have the ability to work in a team structure. So teamwork and group work is very important. It's the top thing that Canadian employers value. I wonder if this list surprises you. Would this be the same in your home culture? The next thing to discuss is professionalism in communication. That's spoken or written language when communicating for business purposes. Listen actively, ask questions for clarification, use eye contact. Speak clearly. That means to speak a little bit slower with a clear voice, using direct, honest, and respectful language. Choose an appropriate time to communicate. Sometimes you might have some ideas you want to share with your boss or with your coworkers, but remember that sometimes it's not the right time. Choose the appropriate time. The next thing is to be prepared. Make sure that you review your notes, the procedures, and have a professional appearance when you're in the workplace. So you review your class notes or textbooks. Make sure that you understand the procedures on how to do things. You can even bring cheat sheets, bring little notes with you so that you can follow procedures and remember them. Make sure that you understand cross-cultural communication requires patience. So it's possible for miscommunication to happen. You want to make sure when you're speaking with people that you are responding to them, and you remember that sometimes they might not understand you because of language or cultural differences. So be aware of it and try to help them understand the differences. Be understanding and patient. The next step is to talk about email communication. It's very important when you're communicating with your colleagues, your coworkers, and your boss that you do so in a professional manner. So these are some tips to help you make sure that your email appears professional. Be brief and specific. Have a clear, meaningful subject line. So in the email, when you have the addressee, so to whoever you're sending it to, and subject. So in the subject line, make sure you have a clear and meaningful subject. Use a formal tone, not casual. Check for spelling and grammar and punctuation errors. You want to send off your document looking professional, and if it's full of errors, simple errors that you can avoid, it doesn't look professional. Use clear, easy to read fonts. Use professional, formal language. And remember that your email may be read by more than one person. You may send it to your boss or to your coworker, but that person may send it to someone else. So be careful about what you write. Now I'm going to discuss the qualities of an effective employee. These are important because as you're doing your placement, it's a good idea to always remember to be professional and to portray yourself as a professional worker. If you do this, this will not only make your experience in your placement a great experience, but it may lead to future job opportunities. This is also an opportunity for networking and letting people know who you are as an employee. So follow some of these ideas. Make sure that you demonstrate reliability. If you say that you're going to do something, make sure that you do it. Make sure that you communicate effectively. Think about what you're going to say before you say it. Express your thoughts clearly, directly, and honestly. Use active listening strategies. So when somebody is speaking to you, make sure you use eye contact, nod your head if you understand, and ask questions for clarification. Participate actively. Volunteer information, ask questions for clarity, and make sure that you're listening carefully. Do more than you're required to. Always look for opportunities to go further than you've been asked to. This is a great demonstration of professionalism and a great quality in an employee. People will notice it. Be flexible. If things change, as they often do in the workplace, make sure that you are flexible and can change along with the demands. Be respectful towards others. Placement success and how it relates to your future. Practice the success strategies of an effective employee. This will help you learn how to perform your job effectively, but it will also show people who you are as an employee. Practice professional workplace communication in both written and verbal forms. Remember, this is a networking opportunity for you. If you do a great job and people notice, they'll remember you, and you can keep in touch with them. And this may lead to further opportunities in the future. Also, references from placement employer. It's possible that if you do a great job, you'll be able to ask for references from your boss that will be used for job hunting in the future. All of the information that I presented to you in this workshop is now something that you are responsible for. Remember to review and understand all of the information presented today. Ask questions if you don't understand. Be prepared to use this information in your work life. Your employers will expect you to know this information. Be accountable for this information. You cannot say you didn't understand. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is on the screen. Keep in touch with SALS. And if you have any feedback for me about this workshop, also feel free to email me, as my email is on the screen.